I love this quote from mindful.org. Impatience pulls the rug out from under our best and loving intentions, and seems to especially do so with those who matter to us most. On the next slide is a 2-minute video by Jon Kabat-Zinn describing patience. If the video doesn't automatically load, the link below will take you to this video. When you're ready, move to the next slide. The next 3 slides relate to Jon Kabat-Zinn's book, Full Catastrophe Living. The reference for this book and the material for the next 3 slides is found on the 3rd slide. Kabat-Zinn describes patience as a form of wisdom, letting us understand or showing us that we accept that sometimes things must unfold in their own time. I love how he describes that a child may want to help a butterfly emerge by breaking open the chrysalis, but of course isn't helpful to the butterfly. As adults, we know that things such as the butterfly emerging take their own time, and the process cannot be hurried. When you're ready, move to the next slide. As Jon Kabat-Zinn further describes, through mindfulness, we in fact are cultivating patience. Patience towards our own minds and bodies. We begin to remind ourselves there's no need to be impatient with ourselves. We find the mind judging all the time, or because we are tense or agitated or frightened, or because we've been practicing for some time and nothing positive seems to have happened. We give ourselves room to have these experiences, but why? Well, because we're having them anyway. When they come up, they are a reality. They are part of our life unfolding in this moment. So we treat ourselves as well as we would treat the butterfly. Why rush through some moments to get to other, quote-unquote, better ones? After all, each one is your life in that moment. When you're ready, move to the next slide. Kabat-Zinn further says that patience can be a particularly helpful quality to invoke when your mind is agitated. It helps us to accept that this wandering tendency of the mind, while reminding us that we don't have to get caught up in its travels or the stories. Practicing patience reminds us that we don't have to fill moments with activity and with more thinking and more doing in order for them to be rich. In fact, as he says, it's quite the opposite, which is true. To be patient is simply to be completely open to each moment, accepting it in its fullness, knowing that, like the butterfly, things can only unfold in their own time. When you're ready, move to the next slide. We're now going to begin a meditation on patience. Begin by closing your eyes. Have your feet flat on the floor. Have your hands in a symmetrical position. And have your spine take a dignified and upright posture. At the sound of the bell, we'll begin our meditation for patience. If during this meditation your mind begins to wander, just know that that's okay. Not judging it, just allowing the mind to do what it does. Come back to your sensation of breath. Begin by sensing where your breath takes you. As you breathe in, where does your body move? Do you see or feel movement in your belly, in your ribs, in your collarbones? Just experience the breath. When we think about patience, we're often impatient towards other people. Perhaps it's time to ask yourself, Does your impatience or your indignation towards another person, does that feel good? Or what are the costs of feeding your angry impatience? You might ask yourself, can you learn something from this quote-unquote transgressor, this person who has caused you to be impatient? Without intending to, how might they be teaching you about the edges or the boundaries of your own capacity for patience? You don't have to like the pain they've set in motion for you, but are you willing to be grateful for the opportunity to expand your patience and your capacity for well-being? Make your goal of riding out reactive urges or impulses public to others. Make yourself accountable for practicing patience. It may be helpful to try not to put yourself in situations where you'll need to resist urges or fight impulses when you feel fatigued or depleted. Sometimes rituals or routines can be very helpful if you're feeling very tired, or this is a time when you might be impatient. Continue to focus on the sensation of breath. Notice your breath coming in and out of your body. Think about a time when you perhaps have been impatient. Perhaps think about somebody you're involved in a conversation with who make you feel impatient. Try to allow any feelings of tension or stress that you might experience just to melt away. Perhaps this person who causes you stress is here to teach you a lesson. There's something important that you need to learn about yourself. Anytime you feel stress coming on or any sense of urgency, always know that you can return to your feelings of breathing as an anchor. Nowhere else to go, nowhere else to be. Everything is as it should be. I hope you've enjoyed today's meditation on patience, and I hope perhaps you have a tool or tools that you can use anytime you feel yourself becoming impatient. Take a breath and know that everything is as it should be. Look forward to being with you again tomorrow.